Join the nation's top telecommunications leader, Cable Bahamas. Hear from our team as they share why this is the place for your next career move. Discover the future with us.
Hi, I'm Carol Pinder, and we're here with Mr. John Gomez, the CEO of ALIV. How you doing? Elutra in the house.
Elutra definitely in the house, always representing.
All right, so how are we doing today?
I'm fantastic. I trust you well also.
I'm great. Okay. So one of the first questions I want to ask is, what year did you come to Cable Bahamas, and what was your career path that led you there?
So how much time do you have? Because, I started this journey quite some time back. To be specific, I started in 2000. In 2000 is when I joined the Cable Bahamas group of companies. Before then, I used to be in the power industry at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation. And so it was an easy transition, having an engineering background, to move from BEC across to Cable Bahamas. But the thing for me, which was really exciting about that first step for me, is I saw one of the annual reports from Cable Bahamas. And on the cover, there was a fiber optic cable which showed all the lights coming from it. And that was one of the things that kind of attracted me in the first instance, because I thought about technology.
I love it. So what do you admire the most about the culture of Cable Bahamas?
And so when I reflect and I think back on my journey in terms of when I started Cable Bahamas, back then it was a smaller organization, and we have evolved and grown since then. But one of the things that we had was like a family atmosphere, and especially coming in back in the early 2000s, everyone knew everyone by name. And so one of the things I try to do is to remember everyone's name, even though we have so many more employees today. It's more difficult, but I still make an effort to do that because it helps. It helps with that culture and identifying people and recognizing them for who they are.
And that's good. And I can tell that you do that because we were having a conversation before we started and you were like, I want to make sure.
Yes, I want to get it right.
I have your name. And people connect when you are, concerned about knowing their name and connecting on that level and having that family feel. So I think that adds to being a team member.
Absolutely.
So what would you say that you guys focus on when trying to attract team members? What are you looking for?
So some things we look for is people, not just with the skill sets. It's great to have the expertise and the knowledge, but also we need people, and would love to have people who know how to interact, be a team player, and also excited. They're growing, developing, training every day, because we are always shifting and moving because it is so dynamic. The industry is dynamic. And so when you look at the different skill sets that we need, yes, we need technical skill sets, but we need so many more facets other than that.
And I like how you said, people that are able to shift and move, because even today, we have liquid showers out here, the sun is going.
Absolutely.
But we have to move, we have to shift, we have to, move with the dynamics that are happening. So having someone that's flexible and able to adapt to the environment is key.
Absolutely.
So another thing that I wanted to know was, what do you love about working at Cable Bahamas? What is something you enjoy?
So for me, it might have come out just now, a few minutes ago, people. I think people are the essential ingredient of any business. And so when I think about Cable Bahamas and I think about some of the initiatives that we do to try to ensure that people are engaged, to make sure that they're part of the organization, for me, I think people are the number one ingredient is to make sure that they understand the what, the why, what we're trying to do, and to understand that they know exactly what their contributions are doing for the organization as well too.
And if someone doesn't know what a CEO of ALIV would be doing, what does your day-to-day look like?
So the easy way to explain it, the CEO is like a coach. Okay, you're a coach, you're going from different business units, having conversations, making sure that they have the resources, the tools, the equipment, the know-how in order to deliver in their particular units. And so it's like a coach moving around and making sure that all of the players are in the right place at the right time so that we're getting the results that are required.
All right, coach. I love that. So when you're a coach, there are good days and there are harder days. So what are some challenges that you guys have experienced within the organization?
So when you have a large team, as a coach, it's difficult because I can come in today and there's some personal things that are going on that are impacting me. So as a coach, I have to make sure that every individual understand when they walk through the door or wherever part of the business they're working in, that they understand that when they come in, we have to figure things out together. And so you have to find a way to to make sure that they are in the right frame of mind to be able to concentrate and make sure that no errors or mistakes are being made as they help to contribute and deliver their work.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people to get together because, like you said, the team has grown
Yes,
to
absolutely.
a much bigger team.
Absolutely.
And so getting everyone on the same page and making sure that they work together is key. When you think about your time there, you've been there a lot of years.
Yeah, a number of years.
And so I'm only asking for one, but what is a great memory or fond memory that you think about when you think about all those years?
So one thing that jumps to mind is when ALIV turned 5, okay? When ALIV turned 5, we had an initiative that was going on throughout the business. And what we had done, we went to each of the major islands and we had a team of executives and staff that were traveling, and we were telling the story about ALIV, how ALIV started, what we were doing, how we were using and transforming, using the mobile devices to make people's lives so much better than what they currently had. And so as we went around, and even here in New Providence, we went to every store here in New Providence, and we had people excited. They were lined up, they were coming in, and people actually, they were connecting to the business, and not just connecting to the business, but connecting to the people who were part of the business as well. And so that's one of the things that was very memorable for me.
That's awesome that they have that history and that the persons that are there can be able to tell the story of that history.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when you think about the culture, there's always things that we can improve, things that we can add on. What are things that you want to improve on in your role?
So in my role, I think it's storytelling. We have to be able to tell the story. Tell the story in terms of how we got to where we are, and then also tell the story in terms of where we're going to. And so as we do that, the storytelling, there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of conversations, not just in terms of the products and services that we sell, but also ensuring that everyone understands the objective, the impact in terms of what they're going to be doing to help us to deliver the business results as well.
Because it all comes together. And if everyone can see how I'm playing my part in this story and be able to tell it, then we'll be able to be more unified.
So we have, many times we focus on external customers, but internally we have customers as well. And our people, our staff, the employees, they are customers of ours as well. And so we have to make sure that we look after them. If you look after them, they're going to look after our external customers as well.
That's awesome. So you would say your commitment to your team is making sure that we're looking after you, and so you feel appreciated. So in turn, they will look after the external
There's
customers.
no doubt about that. I live it every day.
I love it.
Every day.
Since you've been at Cable, how would you say you have grown as a person and as a leader?
So it's been a journey, right? Because when I first started Cable Bahamas, I knew nothing about the industry. And so first and foremost, in terms of myself personally, I had to make sure that I understand the business, not just the technology, but the business itself. And so this has been a journey for me. And so it's a continual process in terms of growing and learning. And so as I continue the journey, there's conferences, not just locally, but abroad that I attend. So we can see, and so I can see personally what's going on outside the country, because we need to, again, and I go back to storytelling, because we need to understand what's going on out there to make sure that we kind of bring it back home. And so the country at large, the people at large understand exactly that as we continue to evolve, I need to be able to give that kind of guidance and direction to the team so that we continue to be able to gain those deliverables.
And I think that is so important for leaders to be life learners. So the fact that you shared, we go to conferences, we do certain things. And I think employees care about that too. They care about, if I'm coming into an organization, am I going to have the opportunity to grow and to make myself into the best version of myself? So this is my final question for you. How do you find work-life harmony? Because that's another thing that people think about when they join a team that, is delivering so much. There's a lot that you guys do, and having that work-life harmony is important. So how do you find work-life harmony?
So I'm happy that you asked that, because when you think about work-life balance, right? First and foremost, when you think about what we deliver, I mean, it's an essential service that we provide to our customers. And so it's dynamic, and it's always, there's no stopping in terms of making sure that the mobile services are on, the internet services are working, everything is going 24/7. So it's important not just for myself, but our team to understand that there's a balance that we need to establish. And so for me specifically, I try to find an outlet so that you're not totally consumed, because you want to be fresh every day so you can give your best, not just to your staff, but also to the customers as well. And so there are a couple of things that I tend to do, right? Photography. I mean, some of the guys say they smile at me because that's something that I picked up right during I started before the pandemic, but really got engaged during the pandemic when we were all kind of closed in and what have you. And so it's become a passion of mine. And so it's a different area in terms of trying to release and to make sure to have that balance. And then the other one is gardening and orchids. So those are kind of two things I try to get away, to help me to get away and to kind of relax and have that balance so I can be able to provide the best that I can be for the business.
I love that. Photography and gardening. Now I'm going to be like a Baptist pastor. I said that was the last one, but this is the last one. Because you said you're a coach.
Right.
And often when people have interviews, they're ready to say, put me in the game, coach. So I want to know, as your final question, what is a quality that you're looking for when you're interviewing someone to join the team?
So one of the things that will jump out to me is in terms of, you can tell whether they want a job or they want a career, a journey. They want to be there for their journey. So you can tell it's the money, the compensation is important, but you want to be a part of an organization to be able to contribute to society, to make sure that they are effective and having an impact upon what they do as well. So I would say I want to make sure that they buy into the business and they understand so they can make sure contribute to what we are all about.
I love it. Thanks so much, John.
My pleasure, Carol. Pleasure to chat with you.
And thanks so much to you guys for tuning in.